Let's all take a moment of silence for what we know is the true savior of this book review, the potato. Wait, you don't know why the potato? Let me tell you. We're here to review The Martian. Now, honestly, I don't know. I think I need to change this book out. To see just Matt Damon's face plastered on here every time I cracked it open during my read, it's a lot. He's a handsome guy. I mean, he's a handsome guy, but this is not what the book's about. So, this book opens with the classic medical dilemma. Do I leave it in or do I take it out? Here's the thing. In this case, it's an antenna, a space antenna, in the man's stomach on Mars. Open scene. Straight up stabbed by NASA-branded rebar and wakes up alone because, surprise, his entire crew left him. I mean, you just splash into the sci-fi gotta love it situation. And listen, it's not their fault, okay? It's not their fault. His vitals flatlined, the mission protocol kicked in. They had to get out of there. I mean, that's what it was. They thought he was dead. So Mark Watney crawls bleeding back to his space house. And we're not talking like Jetsons space house. We're talking like NFL practice bubble space house. And I don't know if Andy Weir was actively laughing when coming up with this concept, but let's just get to it. He sends a botanist to Mars. But here's the thing about this space botanist. It actually makes sense. Mark Watney does what any normal man would do in a panicked situation. Makes a spreadsheet. He just decides, you know what? Let me figure out how long I can live by myself out here. And now, here's where you get the duality of the book. Someone on Earth then discovers, through satellite imagery, whoa, there's stuff moving around on Mars. And this is not an alien book, so we can narrow this down to, my guy Mark survived. We messed up. This guy's grand plan is to use his number two. No, not his second in command, his duty. No, you're not understanding. Not his responsibility, his poo. He's gonna use his poo to stir it up with some Martian soil and grow some potatoes. So here's Mark Watney out in space, and he's out there like an Idahoan on steroids harvesting his potatoes. It's working. His science is sciencing. And here's the messed up part. It's hilarious. This book is hilarious. His sense of humor is, it's on par with me. And I'm not that funny. Watney is funny. I mean, he's out there in the middle of space, stuck alone, and I think he's doing this so successfully because he's laughing at himself. I mean, it is a ridiculous situation. Poo and potatoes, stuck in space. He's just so dry and cheerful, and his commentary is amazing, and especially since, he's like 140 million miles from the next DoorDash, and all he's got is the same food over and over and over and over. I mean, yeah, he is taking multivitamins too, but come on. Unfortunately, in space, they're not the gummy kind, so that really, really sucks. I mean, it hits hard because I've never been to Mars, but there are times when you feel alone and out of options. Sometimes laughter is the best medicine. I mean, that'll make you stay sane. So that's what makes this book land. I mean, there are so many things. It's so well written, so well researched, but the humor really makes this book land. And it's not just humor. This guy is actively making this situation into a stand-up comedy routine. And now, with his potato situation on lock, this guy decides to MacGyver the heck out of all the old equipment up there on Mars that was left behind and rig up a way to communicate with the people back on Earth. And honestly, it's all scientifically plausible. I had a few, whoa, hold on, type moments because I'm just an analytical, nerdy skeptic, and I did what any skeptic would do. I Googled. It all checked out. Like, you can actually farm oxygen on Mars, if you find a way to do hydrolysis. You can't start a fire in the air on Mars, but you can in the hab. Like, it's the little details that this guy gets right. And it's not like mind-blowing, okay, we're dropping a, physics 2 college lecture on you and just blowing you up with equations. But it is just enough. And there are so many just little droplets and inklings of truth to the science that it just works. And when you want to fact check it, it's true. For example, the time it takes for signal to transmit from Mars to Earth is 12 minutes. Do you remember how long an SMS message would take to go through? Or even to write up using T9 Word? Maybe I was just used to getting ghosted or left on read before being left on read even existed. I don't know what I expected from a book written by the child of two scientists, but you got it. Apparently he taught himself orbital mechanics for fun. Son of scientists, king of the calculations, first of his name, protector of potatoes. So this was written in 2015, so I don't think Weir quite knew what the term PR scandal meant. Well, you guys know what's gone down in the last decade. Ditching a guy on Mars pre-2016 does still sound like a PR nightmare. Meanwhile, back on Earth, they develop a rescue plan, which strangely does not involve Elon Musk. So Mark finally gets through. And he doesn't say, "I'm alive, help me," anything like that, no. In peak troll fashion, let's just say he does not use a family-friendly way to say hello to his friends back on Earth. And so now, things are looking up. Nope, full-on Martian dust storm blows in. We've got this storm, it's like a Sharknado through Idaho, blowing up his potatoes. And there goes the remainder of his food source. What? You think I was going to eat that raw potato? I need a snack here. Fries or potatoes too. So now he's back to square one, and as a reader, you're like, this situation was already ridiculous out the get. How many ridiculous situations are still to come? There is catastrophe after catastrophe with this guy, and you'll see it when you read it, because you do need to read this book. It's not doing all this science on Mars in his little fart bubble of potatoes. It's not the fancy water chemistry. The most unbelievable part of this made-up Mars mission is the fact that the US and China team up to save one man. That is the crazy part of this story. Oh man, hindsight is 2020. What do we do to get from here, Mark? We go on the most insane road trip in sci-fi history. We might have to come back to that one. I can think of one that might rival it. This is Mark Watney on Mars, rigging up some Mad Max style meets Pimp My Ride rig to travel across Mars. Yes, this is even more bananas than Ryan Trahan doing 50 states in 50 days. And he's out there hooking up more solar panels than a high school dropout in 2012. Just how's this comedian slash science teacher slash space MacGyver gonna get out of this one? And he just does. He hacks some computers and figures it out. I mean, if this guy was traveling with Han Solo and Luke Skywalker, I'm sorry, Chewie, but they would have had a lot easier of a time. So of course, the road trip comes to a close. And in typical The Martian fashion, the rescue mission does not go as planned. The rocket coming in is off course to pick him up, and they're out of fuel, and cue the duct tape and the space theatrics, because they're still gonna find a way to do this thing. Mark basically redistributes himself in an Iron Man-like fashion, just this is ridiculous. The whole thing is ridiculous, but it's amazing. His rescue pilot comes, Commander Lewis, and she launches herself into space slingshot style. I'm in that moment with interstellar music thumping in my ears, and I'm just rooting so hard for these guys. I did not know how invested I was. I felt it. The payoff. The heart. Mark Watney escapes his lonely potato farming life once and for all. And honestly, from behind the pages, I was cheering for every moment of that rescue. Here's the thing. This book made me laugh a lot. But every time the jokes faded, something weird happened. Reality crept in. I started thinking, we're actually not that far off. The science in this book, it checks out way too often. I mean, right out the gate. The blood clot survival, technically possible. The long-range Mars rover driver, it could happen. Plausible. And that's when it hit me. This book works because it feels so real. The guy at the center, Mark Watney, he's not based on anybody I know. But the sense of joking your way through stressful situations, yeah, that hit home. Yeah, I'm familiar with that. I don't usually read sci-fi books with scientific equations and orbital math, but this one was different. No aliens, no monsters, no space-time warps, time travel, which all great in its own right. But all that science included, the science didn't bury the story. It lit it up. The creativity here is wild, but it's the kind that's grounded in truth. If you're like me and you're not a alien wars across galaxies type guy, this is a good toe into the science fiction world. If you like a good laugh and a clever twist here and there, and a, whoa, this might happen for real someday. And honestly, if it does, I hope we got another Mark Watney ready to go. So what do I think? What do I think about The Martian? I don't know, Matt Damon. You tell me. Honestly, I have to give it a 6.76. It was a banger. It was great. It was above average read. It was wonderful. It was, maybe it's just me. Maybe I like reality in space. So I'm going to be reviewing on the reg. And if you want to keep up, maybe read along with me and check out these reviews and comment because you're going to obviously disagree. I'm here for it. I'm here for the conversation. I'm here for the debate. I'm here to get along. I'm here to connect with fellow readers. So if you want to check out what I'm reading soon, here they go. You got pew, 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 pew. These 4 coming soon. Can't wait to catch you again. If this breakdown made you laugh, made you think, made you Google, can you grow potatoes with poo? Go ahead, drop a like, a comment, subscribe. Have a great day. A book a day keeps the brain rot away. Adios, folks.